Shalom everyone. Today I just want to talk to you for a moment about a part of the life of Yeshua that I think a lot of us know about, but we don't actually consider the way that he treated people. You know, in this world, we live in a world of hierarchy, a world where we consider ourselves to be on a certain standard, and we look at other people and we judge them to be on a certain standard themselves. We treat people based off the social hierarchy that we are in and how the world tells us to treat someone who are in that other social hierarchy. But when Yeshua showed up, the revolutionary aspect of his life was how he, despite being an esteemed rabbi of sorts, treated people who were the least in society as being the greatest of society. And those who were the greatest of society, the leaders, the teachers, and the government agents of his day, he treated sometimes as if they were the least, if they were ones who were exalting themselves. Yeshua was really treating people the way as a mirror to how the Father would treat people. Because ultimately the Father tells us that in the coming kingdom, the greatest will be least and the least will be greatest. Now my question to you is are you treating people today in the world that you are around you as they will be treated in the kingdom? Or do you treat people in this world the way that the world expects you to treat them? In this life, we've treated people like the world treats people and not like the kingdom of God treats people. Then from what kingdom are you really? Is really my question. If we're not going to be treating the least as the greatest, if we're not going to be looking at the poor and the meek of the earth, and we're going to be like, wow, you are the one who my Messiah uplifted, if we're not going to be doing that, we're actually failing to uphold his standard of holiness that he walked out. You see, there's this deeper place that he is really calling us to, and I believe he's calling you to treat the sinners of the world and those who need a hospital, those who need a doctor, in the ways that he treated them. So that means that when there is someone who is serving you, it means that when there is someone who is financially lower, or who is socially lower, or who is lower at your job under you, or wherever in this world there is hierarchy, make sure that you apply the kingdom's principle to that hierarchy. Because ultimately that will mean that the Father is pleased. That will mean that you consider yourself most humble. That means that you do not consider yourself as greater than you ought to be considering yourself. And that means that you will be ultimately the one who is exalted before the Father because you did not exalt yourself. Or like Yeshua told the story about the man who comes to a wedding feast, right? And he says there's this man at this wedding feast, and he goes up and he takes the best seat for himself, but he is then ashamed when the host comes and gives him a lesser seat. But rather the man who takes the lesser seat from the beginning and the host comes and gives him a better seat is a man who is honored and exalted by the host. And so in the same way, I want you to be one who is exalted by your Father. You as being one who humbles yourself, but receives a better seat, even closer to him. But let him be the one to promote you. Seek him in the secret place and he will exalt you in the open. But if you seek him in the open and that's your relationship with God, it's just about religious things. It's just about showing others how religious you are. That's the point. That's the heart behind it. Then you will be humbled. But let what is true be true. Let your yes be yes to him, and don't let your yes be yes in order for others to see. Don't let your yes be yes to the poor or the lowly just so that others can see. But let your yes be yes because your heart is yes. Your heart is an alignment. I hope that this has blessed you. Go and love your neighbor as yourself.